Hello everyone. In this lecture video, let us understand how we can boost the self-esteem. Boosting self-esteem is a personal and ongoing process that requires self-reflection, self-compassion, and consistent effort. While there isn't a specific formula, I am going to give you some of the strategies that can help you to enhance your self esteem. The root of emotional inadequacy is low self esteem. So, to survive and be successful, you need to have a high dose of self esteem both at the workplace and uh, home front, because work pressure in the form of deadlines, particularly with a new technology where we are imbibed to learn, and personality conflict can batter your self esteem. So it's therefore imperative to nurture and build self esteem. So let us understand what is self esteem. It is a measure of how we value and feel about ourselves. And self esteem involves understanding and accepting your positives, limitations, instead of being concerned with what others might think of us. Hope you all aware of the French philosopher Henri Thoreau. He had rightly stated, what a man thinks about himself is what determines, or rather indicates, his fate. So, let us understand first the formation of self esteem. It could be positive or negative. What is positive self esteem? That is high self esteem, and negative, low self esteem. See, one thing which you have to understand very clearly here is low self esteem. It is particularly results in the lack of confidence and often worries, the result of negative auto suggestions of possible failure and the consequences. So everything is completely based on the low self esteem and even lack of discipline. Overprotection can make you feel inadequate, incompetent to look after yourself. Now, the degree of self esteem which you have acquired can be sustained and aggravated by yourself. That is, by being over exacting or setting unrealistic expectations. The next one would be others who bully or put you down. It can even be the incidents such as failure, rejection, and setback. So, we need to understand the characteristics of people who enjoy a high and low self esteem. Now, I have mentioned here some of the characteristics of people with high self esteem. I have listed out. See, when you look into this, the one who talks about the ideas, who has a daring attitude, humble, who respects authority, who displays courage of conviction, concerned about character, very important, and they are assertive, they are ready to accept the responsibility, and they act from self motivation. They are also optimistic, understanding, they are ready to learn from others, willingness, showing willingness to learn from others, and they are ready to discuss, open to discussion, disciplined, they are internally driven and respects others. These are some of the characteristics of the people with high self esteem. When you look at the characteristics of people with low self esteem, they always talk about other people. They spend much of their time talking about others. And they have a critical attitude and are very much arrogant. They also rebel against authority and goes along with people to get along with them. There is no independency in their views and thoughts. They are very much concerned about the reputation and are very aggressive in nature. For everything, they blame the whole world because they are very selfish and pessimistic and also very greedy. They had a belief that they know it all attitude and are very sensitive to things. They are often argue with people. They try to keep themselves alone, solitude, and they have a distorted sense of freedom. They always looks down upon others. So even if some of these deciding factors about low self-esteem, which I had mentioned here, apply to you, it is possible to overcome the residual effects of these negative experiences. One way to overcome the low self esteem is to constantly feed your mind with positive auto suggestions. Like you have to value your unique abilities. You should celebrate what you are and what you have become. Try to listen to words of appreciation and let them sink in. Do not dwell on your past mistakes. Look ahead instead. Yes, become your own cheerleader. That is appreciating yourself for every positive move of yours. That is what always think positive. Thinking positive is nothing but the power to make you and break you. Your thoughts, it has the power to make you or break you. See, the intensity of these thoughts shape your behavior and destiny. You have to understand that. So think positive and you can scale great heights and get whatever you desire and seek. Always there is a strong belief that thoughts can affect both your work and personal relationships. So therefore, you need to monitor them. A thought is the way you perceive somebody. Please understand this. And that thought generates an attitude and a response which shape the relationship you have with the world. So all our communication stems ultimately from what we think of others and the emotion generated by these thoughts. That is why we need to address the issue at the thinking level rather than at feeling or action level. So to boost your that is self-esteem, you have to accept praise without belittling your contribution. You should attempt visualizing your success. You have to anchor the past achievement and success. Try to alter your script and make changes every now and then based on the requirement to the situation. Yes, allay your fears. So there are certain things that which you have to avoid. Some of the habits which you should avoid to keep yourself positive and confidence. Approval seeking. Try to avoid approval seeking. Living in the past. Always we talk about the past. We do have the guilt of what we had done earlier. Yes, fear of the unknown, demanding for something, procrastination of our work, dependence, anger. So these are all some of the things which you have to avoid for inhaling your confidence to keep marching towards a solution. See, there are certain things which only when you practice you can develop your personality. That is the happiness and optimism can be achieved based on the happiness. Yes, the comfort zone which you have for yourself. More than thinking about others' life, what sort of comfort zone that you have for yourself. So the offshoot of happiness is always adaptability, which should be reflected in whatever that you do. Yes, the accuracy of the work that you carry out and the relationship between what you had experienced. So that will make you more flexible in your feelings, your thought, and your behavior. So you can, based on all these ideas, based on these inputs, you can try to improve your personality because that plays a very major role when it comes to interacting with the whole world. So this will shift your attitude to a positive place. So it will help you to resist and delay an impulse or temptation. The In a nutshell, what I would like to state here is the major hurdle comprising between you and success is the lack of self-acceptance and the inability to relate it to everyone. So focus on making the world a better and happier place. You need to nip negative thoughts in the bud and connect the people without bias, prejudice, and preconceived notions. So this could be done first by consciously interrupting your negative thoughts about a person or situation and foster a neutral, if not positive, thought and a new attitude, and thus a new outcome, which will always help you, lead you to success in your life. Thank you.